We have some Regenesis, some Sword Soul, and honestly the impact of a card like Forbidden Crown on a deck like Lunalight. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Now, this is very, very interesting to me because we're starting off with Regenesis here. Now, Regenesis and a lot of this info, I mean, maybe people just didn't believe in some of the changes, or, you know, they just kind of fell to the most random of tech choices around these formats. But to see Regenesis actually coming out on top here and actually really ruining somebody's day is really good, and especially with the double Dragon's Mine built into the main deck, I find that very, very interesting. And once again, I appreciate just the deck building space in general when you look at these lists. You know, if a tech choice can actually change a deck's chances, I think that this is one of the decks that seems like it had some of those better chances. Of course, you know, once again, look at your trap lineup in the main deck. You can see why, you know, we can overcome Burst Protocol easily. Yes, the standard challenger in the room. You know, I'm really happy to see Gallant Granite showing up, not to be abused in these decks, honestly, because it'd be a little bit too crazy for the OCG to be doing it too, but instead, they get to do something a little bit more toxic. They get access to that mini Underworld Goddess, which just turns the Mitsurugi combo into full Fiendsmith combo. This is why when the TCG took the chances to, you know, take this out back and make it so that we don't have to deal with it, I think it was definitely a wonderful choice on the meta. But with that being said, though, you do get the opportunity to see that we are playing some sort of Psyframe package in here. I do not hate the Psyframe package. I actually think the Psyframe package is a nice, wonderful set of tools for you to be bringing in and actually be working in your favor. So, looks very, very good for this. Next up here, we have Lunalights sporting off Triple Crown. First of all, that's going to be such a pain in the butt for you to have to deal with, because Lunalights, if you can set up the double Liger Dancer, you Forbidden Crown your opponent's monster, you can just attack into it 4 times. It's not going anywhere. And nobody seems to have realized that Crown works in that way. It's kind of spooky, actually. So, you know, and I mean, this is just a weird scenario that it comes up that you're able to work with those tools like that. So it's kind of, I appreciate the fact that that is how you can do it. You've also got the triple heavy polymerization. This is the tool that we have seen for so long working out with this deck. But, you know, Lunalights have all of the tools that they need to be able to inconvenience opponents, and I think it really does work out very, very nicely here. Next up, we have some Albaz. Now, Albaz in the OCG still does have access to the Gimmick Puppet Lock, and I know, yeah, hearing that the Gimmick Puppet Lock is still a viable option is infuriating to some people, but it's just kind of how things have worked out at this stage. You do get to see that if you do get the new Fallen of Albaz, you get access into the Synchro, which we can kind of rotate through. And of course, the Devourer of the Dogma shows back up as another wonderful tech option for this deck to, you know, kind of showcase. Down in the side deck, you do get to see Thrust with all of its broken targets, man. Having Tack Talents and the Illusion Gate B cards that you can effectively call up and just devastate the opponent with does get a little bit disgusting after a while. So it's kind of something interesting to think about, you know, as this deck does kind of evolve and you do see more of the options coming together, it's pretty rough. Ooh. We have a DDD list out of top 8 for the Teacup event here as well. Okay, so we are doing 1 Count Surveyor with the 2 Frieza. I'm kind of glad to see that that has kind of counterbalanced itself. And it also looks like we're only doing 2 copies of the Abyss Gilgamesh in here. Honestly, Gilgamesh is a little bit of a coin toss sometimes, I feel like. I do see that we are side decking the Trap card that makes it so that the opponent basically cannot tribute our field. Most of the TCG variants have continued to play that card in the main deck, just because we actively believe it is a very strong powerhouse card. And I do kind of agree with that, honestly. You know, you want to be able to have these good, strong cards acting in a very, very positive light for you. And typically, that is going to be a strong power card you are going to want to have, man. Ooh, we have some Canine for you. This is a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing in these Canine variants, because we are playing the Release Restraint. We are also playing the Trap card in the main deck. I know recently there was a couple lists in the TCG that were discussing wanting to play the Trap, but it was only usually in the side deck. Because we are also playing pure Canine, you have to kind of rely on things like the Triple Chaotic Elements and the Triple Case Canine. Man, if this deck gets drolled, it is going to be the saddest day of its life, because it's going to be, you know, brick central. You know, you've only got one Joe Cool. Also, we are playing Triple Disc Blaster. Hey, man, if you can get those extra bodies set up onto the field relatively easily, it's going to work out. This build is also side decking 2 crowns. We've also got that there can only be one. We have a lot of the standard BS that, you know, a deck like this would want to be playing. Ooh, we have Yummy for you. God, the OCG only plays a single copy of the Herald. But, I mean, that really should tell you of how broken it feels like this deck can be sometimes. They're also playing the Fiendsmith package. And really? I mean, once again, you get to see, oh, if I can get 2 Yummy monsters on the field, I can pivot into full Fiendsmith combo, which just makes this package even more stupid. And we're not even doing any of the big boss monsters with this. It's just we're putting a Wave King Kaiser on the field to basically Nibiru-proof us at this point in time, which means I guess we're not going to get blown out by something stupid, which... I mean, it seems not really worth the argument to try to mess around with that. We've also got double Metaltronius. It's been a little while since I've seen somebody actually trying out Metaltronius in these lists, so good job on that, actually. Ooh, we have more Mitsurugi, but with Ryzel this time. So, OCG still has the Hazy Flame Banshee, which you can pivot into your 1 Ryzel piece if you need. I do see we are playing the Gluxion for the 1/7 Tachyon. It's amazing to me to see that one of the main prerogatives that Ryzel Mitsurugi wants to do is just making sure that they can pivot into the Ryzel combo to do the thing. Because you know your opponent's just going to set up like a Great Purification, just burn you through, depending on how things go. And also, shout out to the actual hole thruster in here. It's really nice. We've also got the triple evenly down here on the side. Double D-Barrier, something that the TCG no longer has access to, which actually fixes a lot of our problems. But if you're wondering, you know, how some of these big competitors are doing out of some of these events, well, here you go, man. You have the consistent results on your desk. And, of course, we have, Dragon Tail. So this is where, once again, we get to see access to the new Albaz monster doing wonderful work for us. The fact that this monster just basically allows you to go down a full extension of full combo is kind of nuts. Also, they're not playing Branded Fusion in here. That's something that the TCG and the OCG seem to want to argue about. I mean, there's no real point when you have access to way better branded cards, especially Purse Protocol. And, of course, you've also got the Borreload Savage Dragon, which makes the Magistus stuff way better, in my opinion. Having that extra consistency to kind of explode through really, really, really sets a tone for this deck. It will be a monster when it needs to be. So, hey man, if you are looking at something crazy, this is definitely for you. And our last list here is actually some Sword Soul. Somehow, Sword Soul managed to overcome a lot of craziness within this meta. And taking down a first place is actually nothing really too crazy to see. But when you're playing Sword Soul with the extra pieces, you're bringing in the Master Iris, and then you're incorporating 2 Albaz into the deck. It kind of changes a lot of what you would expect. You also do see we are playing 1 Fallen and Virtuous in here because you do get more of that access to the Ecclesia side of things. Also, Ecclesia can toggle into the new Albaz Or, you know, basically you're going to want to go down Sword Soul usually anyway in this deck. But very, very interesting to actually see, you know, Sword Soul actually working. Actually, crazy to see a lot of this working. But please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.